Hello, everyone. Welcome to one of our free weekly trainings. Today, we're going to be talking all about increasing sales through building relationships, tapping into your community and your network, and really inviting those people that you want to work with in. I'm really excited to speak about this topic because once I started to deepen my understanding of really getting to know the people I wanted to work with, it became a lot easier to write content, to write emails, to show up on live videos, because I really understood where they were at in the customer journey. So grab a notebook, grab a paper, grab some pens, so that you can take some notes, because my style is really inviting you to ask yourself some questions. Only you can come to your own answers. Only you can come to your own understanding of this topic. So if you are here live, please just write a comment. This will not only boost engagement so other people actually see it, but this allows me to help you because I want this to be personalized. I want this to be fun. I want it to be interactive, all of those things. So if you're new to this space, this is called Rock the Mic Online. This is a community for female entrepreneurs and leaders to increase their sales, to use their voice, to be seen on stages, to write books, to do a lot of things to be seen and heard. And sales is one of the components of that equation. My name is Bridget Aileen Sisko. I'm the founder of Exalted Publishing House. I have a podcast. I'm a visibility mentor for female entrepreneurs. Again, everything is all about using our voice, whether it's in our content, in our emails, doing a live video, being on a podcast, writing your book. Everything is intertwined in this community. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Hello. Oh, I'm able to put your comment on the screen. It's fun. I'm going to pull it up on my phone also. And of course, they're blowing the leaves as I'm doing this. It's always fun. Yeah, say where you are at in the world today. Where are you joining from? I'm in New Jersey. It's getting really brisk, and I'm loving these really warm days outside, or cold days as I'm doing this. Loving the cold days outside with bright sun. Okay, we did it. Oh, hey, Brittany. Okay, now I can see who it is. That's fun. Hello, hello. Okay. So when we really think about sales, and I've talked about this in this community a bunch before, a lot of us have this connotation of force, push, and I started my professional career in cold calling phone sales for Yelp. So every single day, I would get my list of leads of companies I would be calling to sell advertising space, and I would get on the phone and call them. I loathed what I was doing for a couple of reasons. Number one, I hadn't built that relationship. Number two, it was very monotonous, and I wanted to be in person. I'm very dynamic. I wanted to really understand where these business owners were at. And number three, that type of sales just wasn't for me. So when we come into this conversation of how we can redefine sales, but also increase sales, what's really helped is to go through some really simple questions. I like to be reflective in how we're showing up right now, taking a look at your content. And ultimately, if we don't have sales, we don't have income, we do not have revenue in our business, and legally, it's a hobby. I remember talking to my accountant years ago, and he's like, if you don't have a profit in your business, it's a hobby for tax purposes. Luckily, that's not the case anymore. And the beautiful thing about sales is it gets to be really fun if we allow it to be, if we start to have a different relationship with it. So in the comments now, I want to hear a little bit more about your business specifically and something that you have coming up. So Melissa's here too. So if you have a program coming up, or if you have a launch, write that in the comments so that when we go through these questions, you can actually use that program that you have coming up to help you. And if you don't have something like that coming up, that's okay. Just write your business in the comments. Fun. Brittany is in Kentucky. Okay, so I've never done this on StreamYard, but I can put the comment on the screen. This is so fun. Simple things. Just the simple things. Okay, so what is your business? What do you have coming up soon? Wrapping up a launch now and enrolling for another one soon. Okay, awesome. So you can take that launch that's coming up or will be coming up, and you can take that through some of these exercises here. That'll be fun. I'm launching a 40-day container for heart-based meditation practice. Yeah, I saw. Okay, cool. This will be perfect. So it's pretty simple, but our conversation today is about building those relationships, inviting people in, being in front of the right people. And that's where I want to start. So number one is, what are you actually selling? Because a lot of the times we think we're selling the program, we think we're selling, the 3-month container, we think we're selling X, Y, and Z. But what I want you to lean into is, what are the results? What is someone actually desiring? And in marketing, there's a lot of like those pain point marketing conversations. I like to do more so from the space of desire. So if you were really to think about this person, and maybe you have, go back to a past client who you've worked with or a past customer, and they were just a gem. They were the most incredible person to work with. They were so much fun. You just had a great time with them. I want you to ask yourself, who were they? And what were some of their desires joining? And what did they get out of it? What were some of their desires for joining? What are some of the results that they were looking for? So you might be taking notes. You might be, a lot of times when we open up these conversations, I see them as like portals. And that's why I like you to have notes, because a lot of times things just kind of come through really, really quickly. And it gets to be simple. So what is that outcome? What are the results that this person is actually desiring? What do they truly desire? And a lot of the times, this is where just being super general can make the sales experience a lot more challenging. But if we are a little bit more specific about where they're at in their journey, and we'll go to that in just a moment, and then we actually talk their language, we talk about some of the desires that they would speak about in that way. Another thought for all of you, I love to do this, it helps me formulate my own ideas, is to do a Google search, type in heart-centered meditation practice 40 days and see how other people are using language. Obviously, do not copy what they are saying, but you can bounce off those ideas and make them your own. No problem, Hollis. And I want to give you an example I used with the Mastermind that we launched last month. It was called the Women's Leadership Mastermind. And it was really all about gathering together in a very new way. There was no content, none of that. What I focused on was the results of said thing. So I pulled up my website just to give you guys an idea. The results of this program were creating a constant stream of referrals by building a high caliber network of strategic relationships, shifting from one way of selling to 6 ways. So we were basically going to leverage the community, energetically attract the highest quality, high earning clients. So that was one of the goals, right? High earning clients, and surround yourself with courageous leaders. So they knew that they'd be in the company of people who've also had a business for a while. This wasn't their first rodeo. They were going to be in a container of those types of people. So start to think about this for yourself, this group. Okay, they desire self-trust. Oh, I like that I can put this here. They desire self-trust, master intuitive decision-making in business, feel free to express themselves, stop biting the tongue or dimming full self in business, and have their message land with their audience. Yeah. Okay. Master intuitive decision-making in business. Yeah. And you can even expand on that by giving an example. Master intuitive decision-making in business. You can even say, when you're thinking of hiring 1 or 2 people, you tap into your heart. Like, give an example that will help them even understand it a little bit more. Feel free to express themselves. Stop biting the tongue or dimming full self in business. Yeah. So an example of that could be, maybe you love to curse and maybe you have this like fear of doing that because you feel that people will judge you, but you know that your ideal clients are pretty feisty also, and they also curse. Maybe that's an example. I like that. Okay, so then we go a step further. If we can start to understand who these people are, they desire feeling more in tune with their heart, More connected and present, living from love rather than fear. Okay, this is great, Brittany. So this is a really good time to get a little bit more specific because that feels really broad. Many of us can feel that way. And now you're going to ask yourself, both of you, where are they at on their journey? So Melissa is working with like leaders and entrepreneurs. Brittany, who are the people that you're calling into this program? Do they have a spiritual practice? Are they already yogis? Do they have a consistent meditation practice? Are they mothers and they're struggling to find a meditation practice in their life? So starting to connect with a certain group of individuals is going to help because then you're not going to be so broad. And the thing that is challenging for all of us as heart-centered entrepreneurs, because we want to help everyone, is that sometimes we are only going to be working with a specific set of people, and that's also okay. It could change, so it's also okay. So who is your program for? That means when someone reads the content, they're going to be like, holy shit, that's me. Like, oh my gosh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So to give you all an example, I am going to be hiring an online business manager, someone to like work in my business with me. For me, I needed this person to have done this before. I needed them to be very, very familiar with online business. I wanted them to be very familiar with systems and processes, and even like how I work. So once you're clear, it's much more easy to make that connect, because if this person had never done it before, I would know that they're not a good fit to work with me. So who is your program for? And you might even start by spitballing and just kind of putting it out. How do they identify? What do they call themselves? That's a hard question. I feel like the practice is for anyone who wants to dedicate a practice. This could be a seasoned yogi or someone who has never. I know it's challenging. It can be very, very challenging. So that's fine if it's for multiple people, but make sure you give those identifiers. Like this could be for you if you're a seasoned yogi and you just want to practice in community, or someone who has never meditated before and you want to practice in community. But even having something as specific as that can help someone identify. So you could say you might call yourself a seasoned yogi. You might have a meditation practice, but you want to change it up. Or you might have never meditated ever in your life, and you're really looking for guidance and community support to instill the habit. And I know it's hard. I know it's so hard, but it gets to be easy. Okay, cool. So that landed. Now, once you start to get a little bit more clear on that, you ask yourself, where are these people? Where are they hanging out? Many of us are using social media as ways to connect with people, but I really like to lean on the communities that I already have. So instead of just me talking to a potential client, I'm really leaning into my networks and expanding this way versus me and you. Okay, so maybe you're in a group program right now where you could share that you have this offering. Maybe you are in a networking group, or maybe you are in a Facebook group. Maybe you have someone in your community who's connected to a lot of these people. Most of us are just scared to make the ask. So I want you to think about your network as it is right now. Think about that ideal client. How can you bridge that gap? How can you connect with those people in a different way? And I'll give you all an example, because maybe we're not in front of them right now. I was talking to my friend yesterday, and she said, I've really built this whole list of, people who wanted my freebie from Facebook groups. And that's great. You're building your email list, you're maybe building trust. But she said, my ideal client is six-figure business owners who have been in business for at least 2+ years, are really clear on their brand. They're already investing in themselves. So you have to ask yourself, were those the same people? And if they're not, you ask yourself, well, where are those people hanging out? Are they in business groups? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they using a different platform? And is there any way that you can get in front of them? And this is where you can be strategic. Think about the relationships you have. Is there anyone that you could ask? Hey, I have this program coming up. I would love to be able to share it with your community. We can do a trade. I'd love for you to share what you have coming up with my community. Let me know if there are any light bulbs going off of maybe who you can even ask. Yes, I've had 14 people say yes to the practice, but haven't brought up money yet. It feels intimidating. Ooh, okay. Oh, I love talking about money. So money is incredible, and you deserve all the money in the world for what you're going to be sharing with others. I like to put the money right up front. I like to let people know this is the investment, because I don't want to get on a sales call with someone and them not be able to make that investment. I want to put it right in front of their face. It is so important that we really lean into this exchange. Money is incredible. And just like Melissa says, I love paying my friends for their genius work in the world. It is a gift to pay people. It is literally a gift to pay people, especially for the work that we're doing. You're going to be hosting a meditation practice for 40 days. That's a big energetic container. You've already had 14 people say, I'm interested in this. Let them know that there's a price. The thing is, right, yeah, there's an incredible amount of trust that already exists. Absolutely. And if my friends said, okay, this is the price for my service, I'd say, hell yes, like let's go, because that means that that person's making money doing something they love. And if we're not able to pattern that within ourselves, ooh. I thought about doing a sacred economics approach and offering it via donation, but I don't know if I'm selling myself short, and I want people to be committed. Right? I've offered things. Gotta have skin in the game. Gotta have skin in the game, especially for something like that. 40 days, it's really easy for people to drop off. Really, really easy. Gotta have skin in the game. That's my personal opinion. I would lean into offering. How much do you want to charge? How much do you want to charge? You already had 14 people say yes. How much do you want to charge for it? There's the dog. And let's kind of pivot for a moment about our relationship with sales and selling things. I want you to think about the last few things that you've invested in, maybe for your business. Maybe it was a really cute outfit. Maybe it was like we just got, my husband and I, we eat meat and we really support this brand called Force of Nature. It's a regenerative farming company. And we just got this whole shipment of 15 to 16 things. We believe in that company because we believe in the values of regenerative agriculture and what that means. So we paid a lot more money than we'd probably pay at ShopRite, but that's not in alignment. So think about the things that you've just recently paid for. Right? Think about what that brought into your life. Money is such a beautiful practice, and dancing with it and working with it is a beautiful, beautiful practice. And what if we can shift into service, sharing, and connecting and offering, right? That's all you're doing. Hey, I'm hosting this. This is the investment. This is the investment. And I love this quote. Right? What if my work is the answer to someone's prayers? They'll be happy to pay for it. They will be happy to pay for it. They'll be happy to pay for it. And if someone's in a major financial situation, maybe you offer a scholarship or you offer something else. But it's really important for us as leaders who are bringing these types of things onto the planet that we do charge, at least in my opinion. All right, so going back to it, where are your people? And share even your prices. I love dancing with money. I love saying this is the price, right? I increased the price of my multi-author book, $12.97. If they want to do VIP, it's over $2,000. Even saying that feels empowering. What is your price? And where are these people at? How can we get in front of them? How can we start to just simply invite? I've been thinking somewhere in the 200 range. Awesome. That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh, hey, Lynn. I'm so glad. So Lynn, since you're just joining, feel free to share about your business and what your product or what your offer is. Thanks. Okay, I've been thinking somewhere in the 200 range. So work with that number. Say it out loud. Speak it. And this is where understanding that value exchange is really important. Understanding what the outcome and the result is. It's not so logical anymore. It's not so logical. So 40 days of support for something like that, I think that's incredible. Incredible. And really important. Helping women feel confident in their own skin and taking care of themselves. Awesome. Lynn, we're getting really clear on who these people are and helping us self-identify. So what do they call themselves? Where are they at in their life? Are they working moms? Are they women who have never used makeup before and have no idea how to use it and want some guidance? So Melissa says, I'm charging $555 a month for 3 months or $1,500 paying full with 5 days a week of Voxer support and 90 minutes of Zoom support for over the 3 months. Beautiful. So valuable. So valuable. And this is where we come back to, what are you really selling? What is that outcome? What are the results here? Because those types of features and the details are not what's actually going to sell someone. The results. And really understanding where this person's at in their journey. So let's actually go back to that person for a moment. Where are they at in their journey? What have they already invested in? What have they already invested in? So Brittany, for you, maybe they've already invested in yoga classes. They're already going to yoga classes. So you can say that. This is for you if you love your weekly yoga class and you're looking for something on a daily basis. Lynn works with women who don't take time for themselves to take 10 minutes out of their day for themselves to do a skincare routine that will work for them. Okay, so making a skincare routine work for them, feeling beautiful from the inside out, self-care, and really leaning into why that matters. I wonder, Lynn, are these women who already prioritize self-care and personal development, are they on that journey? Because then you can speak to them from that lens, maybe talking about books that they might love, or brands that they love, or people that they love and who are inspiring. Maybe they love Brene Brown. Maybe they love, some other beauty influencers. I'm really not good in that space, so I don't know. I wouldn't know any to say right off the bat. Melissa, this is probably not the first program they've invested in. They've probably done a starter program. So if they're an entrepreneur and a leader, they've probably already done a program where they were getting clear on their ideal client. They're getting clear on what they're going to sell and creating their first program. And now they're in a space of expression, using their voice online. So they're spiritual. You already have it. They're spiritual entrepreneurs within the first 2 years of business, desiring greater confidence, clarity, and radiance, and sharing their genius. Okay. Doubting themselves and their intuition is the greatest thing holding them back from creating a magnetic business. Okay, so have they had success in that first 2 years of business? Do they have clients right now? Desiring greater confidence, doubting themselves. Okay, so maybe they started their business from a more logical, rational place, more pragmatic, and maybe they're starting to lean into their feminine essence in the way that they share. So what does it mean to use their intuition to create a magnetic business? My question would be, are they not successful? And this is where it gets fun. It's like putting together these puzzle pieces of who these people are, of how we can really speak to them in a different way. And once we're more clear on this, of course, it's going to evolve and grow and change. But once we're more clear on this, we have a different relationship with these people because we just start talking to them. We're just like showing up. We're talking. They're ready for consistent clients. Okay, so you can even add that. It's like you maybe you had a really great first program launch, or you've been working with one-on-one clients. They're seeing a lot of great results, X, Y, and Z is happening. And you know that you're ready for next level. So, okay. So maybe you're ready to like be a guest expert in people's group coaching programs. Maybe you're looking to start speaking at a summit. Maybe you're looking to start networking and introducing yourself at a networking event because you know that that's kind of one of the next levels, but you're struggling to use your voice in that way. Because I wonder if saying they're ready for consistent clients feels really broad. It's like we're all ready for more consistent clients. Depending on like any level of I guess you wouldn't say consistent if you already have clients. Okay, so we've been asking ourselves, where are these people? I want to kind of move a little bit more into like the process. We could probably be here forever. I love this topic so much. When we go into like a process, I find it's really helpful to know like what the sales process is. Oh, I froze. So when someone is interested in working with you, what happens? I'm making sure I'm not freezing. So when someone is interested in working with you, what happens then? You're taking someone on a journey. So they're interested, you have a client process. Just make sure this is in place. We're not going to actually go too deep into that right now. Are you generating leads? Are you sharing content? Are you sharing yourself in a way that's making people raise their hand? Are they saying, oh, that's me? And that's where having these really specific, like great examples of where these people are at is really helpful, and knowing their desires. It's like, who wants to wake up every day and feel like $1 million with or without makeup? I'd be like, yeah, sign me up. Who wants to feel more peace of mind on a daily basis that starts from like the inside out? Not with that wording, but like you see where I'm going. Who wants to feel confident AF to finally introduce themselves at a networking event? Who wants to stop, I think I used this one before. Who wants to stop like peeing their pants before they share their new program with the world? I discussed with them what they already do to take care of their skin and then find the best routine for them. I just wrote a bunch of questions. Yeah, the questions are really helpful because then people are like, ooh, me. I'll never forget when my coach was like, who wants to have a business that makes $200,000 to $500,000 a year? I was like, me, sign me up. Because that was my desire, right? I didn't actually know what the business was, by the way. So get back into that desire. So are you generating those leads? Are you sharing in ways that are bringing people into your space consistently? And then the last question here is, are you inviting them in again and again and again? Are you inviting them in again and again and again? I shared this before, but when I first launched my one-on-one program, it was a Soulful Essence experience in like 2017. Yep. I said it, I made one Instagram post and I was like, everyone's going to come. Like, that's what I'm seeing people do. Made one Instagram post. No one came. No one came. I'll see you later, Brittany. No one came. So are you inviting people in again and again and again? And this is that time where I want you to go on your Facebook page or go on your Instagram or however you use to connect with your people and actually scroll through your feed. Are you inviting people in? And I have to do this for myself, right? Say I am opening up space in a new co-authored book program. I think to myself, yeah, everyone knows I'm doing this, right? Like, how could they not? Because I'm in my own head. But do people know that you have space for them? Invite those people in. It's almost like how I teach in school. I need a good way to connect with people. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you can use a lot of those teaching skills that you have in school inside this space as well. Okay, so are you inviting them in again and again and again? That repetition. I talked with one of my clients the other day. I was like, okay, do people know that you are selling something? Right? Because we are always thinking in our own mind. And then we go deeper into what is our relationship with sales? Right? Because we have this like fear that we're being pushy. But realistically, most of the people are not even seeing your posts just because of the way the algorithm is always changing. So what a blessing. What a blessing that you could share this. What a blessing that you could share this. But are you letting people know that this is an option? Are you letting people know that you can welcome them into your space? And I shared this on my last podcast solo episode as well, which is being open for miracles and abundance in business. And not only letting people know and inviting them in, practically, right? On Facebook, on Instagram, through all your different channels that you reach out to people on social media. But also, I like to have that board with all the open hearts and stars of like, I'm literally holding physical space for you. Like, you will be safe in my space. And I feel that from a subconscious level, this is really, really important. Right? So it's November. I plan to stop working like December 18th and take like a couple of weeks off. So I'm getting really clear on what I want to be offering in the next couple of weeks. So on a board, I'm probably going to write a certain amount of spots open for something with little hearts or stars or maybe moons, like whatever I'm feeling into. And I'm literally going to set the intention that I'm holding space for people right here. And then when I show up, I'm saying, this is how you can work with me. This is how you can come in. Like, this is your invitation. And sometimes even using those numbers can be amazing. Putting up my 40 space holders now. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And remember, dream really big. Like, go big with the number, because there's that saying, right? Like, shoot for the stars because you'll always fall somewhere. I butchered it. What is the saying? Someone help. I don't know what the saying is, but you understand what I mean. So go really, really big with these numbers. Invite them in. And the last part of this conversation is actually two more things, is building the relationship. Like, do people know, like, and trust you? Do they know, like, and trust you? Because no one's going to trust you if you're just like offering without that exchange. And well, it's always, I love the analogy of like relating it to dating, because if you're to go on a date with someone and they are like, okay, come back to my house right away, and maybe you're not into that, right? Maybe you are, but maybe you're not. You're like, whoa, like I feel like I don't know you. And you put guard up. So it's the same thing here. Do people know, like, and trust you? Are you providing value in different ways that they like and also you like? Like, showing up like this is very fun for me. And technically, if we were to look at like my business, this is me providing value. I've never even thought about it that way. But is it fun for you to show up in the ways that you're showing up? And how are you providing value? Do people trust you? Do they know you? Right? That's why I talk a lot about get on a podcast, because you're building this know, like, and trust factor by just telling your story or sharing stories in your content. Right? People relate to that on an emotional level, and they're like, yes. So Brittany already left, but she's running this 40-day like meditation challenge or meditation program. She should, if I were her, I would be sharing, this is what happens when I did 40 days of meditation. It was hard AF, but I showed up for myself every single day. And this is what happened. Shoot for the moon, even if you missed, you'll land among the stars. Yep. This is actually the perfect thing to share with my clients. Makes no sense to the mind, but it's clear as day for my intuition. Yep. Totally. Right. So I have another book idea that I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about toward the end of the month. And I shared a little bit about it at my summit. And as I sat with like, okay, how am I going to, what is my marketing process? How am I going to advertise for this? Like what media streams, what's my like angle that I'm going to take, being all strategic. I got the weirdest download, and it was like, just show up and talk about your favorite abundance teachings. And I was like, what the hell? That has nothing to do with like what I want to write everyone to write about. And the message was like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to your mind. But if it feels really good in your heart, there's a reason that you've gotten that download. There's a reason that it came to you. Currently loving the book Stories That Stick. I haven't heard that. Stories That Stick. That sounds really good. That sounds really, really good. So build that relationship with the people. Show up in a way that feels really good for you, even if it makes no logical sense, right? Maybe all of the experts like Grant Cardone, I just listened to one of his training the other day, are saying something very different, but to you, it just feels so good to show up in that way. Try it. Try it on for size. I love that, how magnetizing people are so drawn to that. Oh. And the last thing here is just shifting the focus of what you're sharing. Because for most of us, I have this crazy like sun glare coming in. For most of us, we have this really uncomfortable relationship with sales, money, and selling in the first place, right? It's hard for us to put a price on the product or the program or whatever it is. And really, I want you to sit with the relationship. What does money mean to me? How do I spend my money? The people I want to work with, how do they spend money? How do they see the relationship? And shifting away from the forcing, the selling. Like, I remember just being at Yelp and being on these phone calls, and I was just like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. And yes, it helped me get through so many of my fears of sales, right? Of just making the ask. That was always the biggest thing. Like, did you ask? Did you ask for the sale? Did you ask for the sale? But at the end of the day, we're moving into a space of service, of offering, of invitation. And I want you just to close your eyes and actually sit with those words, right? Forcing, selling, like any words that you associate with that consciousness, right? Because these words hold consciousness. There's frequency to all words. And based on society, we have different interpretation of said word. And then move into, service, this shift. Service, offering, invitation, and just kind of like sit with it and feel. One might literally feel lighter to you. One might feel more comfortable, and neither is right or wrong. It's all neutral. It's all neutral, but we get to choose where we place our attention and what feels right for us. So maybe you're in a space of shifting. And what if what you sell could just be the greatest offering? Right? Because if your intention, I always come back to this, you're not here selling McDonald's hamburgers or things that like really harm someone's health. You're here sharing a product, I'll go back to Lynn, that is to help a woman feel beautiful, is to help a woman feel confident in her own skin, to help a woman have fun with makeup and allow that to be her creative outlet. Imagine if we had more women in the world feeling beautiful, feeling in love with themselves. It's always a mirror. Like, that would be a cool world. And then we can go to Melissa and we can ask ourselves, okay, well, what happens if there are more leaders who feel more free and proud and excited to express their truest essence and their gifts that they've always hidden because maybe they were really nervous that it was weird AF. Maybe they were so scared. But what would the world look like if we had more expressive leaders who came from a place of heart-centered embodiment instead of the relationship that many leaders have with themselves now? Like, we need this in the world, and these trainings are so practical yet so visionary. And I think if we just hold this vision of like what it is that we truly desire and why it truly matters that you make money in your business selling things that help other people and make them feel empowered, like F yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we're going to kind of close this out, round it back out. Pop in the chat just your greatest takeaways so you can kind of reflect on what you were able to take out of this. Greatest takeaway and just one action item you're going to take. So maybe it's you're going to write a post on like where this person's at. You're going to write a post on inviting someone in and having like the 40 spots for them. Maybe even take a picture of it. So what is your takeaway and what is one action item? Heck yes, the world is so ready for that. I love that. I can put it on the screen. This is so much fun. Connecting with questions to invite people in. Yeah, I think if you kind of really like root into this like self-love, personal development, helping women feel just beautiful in the skin they're in and allowing them to like tap into their creativity through makeup, I could see people being interested in that. Right? Because we're all like looking for ways to express ourselves in ways that actually feel good. And we think creativity, if Hollis is still here, her whole saying is like creativity is beyond a paintbrush and a pencil. And I think that makeup is a way that people can express themselves. Like I love a good lipstick. And remember I got that lipstick, Lynn? I love it. It's so good. Thank you. Always so helpful. Yeah. Writing a post on who this person is and we'll share something about the 40 people. Keep sharing. Yeah, just keep sharing. I'll say one more thing. First book project. I had someone message me and say, Bridget, I just keep seeing you talk about this and I can't help but think it's for me. Like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's working. Your repetition is working. So I'll leave you with that. I love the space holding out. Create a board. Oh, I love the magic that you're creating, Tamara. I'm so happy for you. Tamara is hosting this incredible 40-day Kundalini mantra group program right now, and I'm doing it, and I'm falling in love with the mantra Satnarayan. So yeah, thank you. It's so amazing to be in this space with all of you. I'm so grateful. And I'll do more training soon. So let me know some topics that excite you. Like I just love showing up in this way. It's so much fun to blend the marketing, the business stuff with practical, intuitive, heart-centered, all the jazz. So thank you. Thank you. I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I'm going to go for a quick walk outside now. See you later.